has to do with government. The second has to do with economy. The third has to do with education. The fourth has to do with family, social justice. The fifth has to do with religion. The sixth is entertainment or celebration. And that's exactly what we looked at on Sunday. And we had said that the system of celebration is the system of creativity. Your creative genius comes alive when you step into this system. And that the first introduction of God in the Bible is that God is a creator. God is a creator. Genesis 1:1. And he has created us in his own image. So if God is a creator, it means you and I are co-creators. Notice God started creation on the first and the sixth day. On the seventh day he rested. God had finished his own part and left us to continue from where he left off. So there are many things that you see today in our world that God literally didn't create. But you and I are the ones that are called to create them. And we've seen the creativity of humanity on display all over the world. All of them to bring glory and honor to God. All of them to celebrate God's goodness. Because when you talk about glory, the word glory is the Greek word doxa. It just simply means the very essence of God. All that God is and all that God has. That's what glory is. All that God is, the very essence of God. All that God is and all that God has is the totality or the manifestation of God's goodness, God's kindness, God's graciousness. That's what glory is. And anytime there is glory or anytime there is a manifestation of glory, there is celebration. Hallelujah. So, the devil now uses the spirit of perversion to counterfeit all of the things that God has created. And he focuses on this area of entertainment because it's very attractive. Again, like we said on Sunday, not just for everybody, but particularly to young people. Entertainment of this system of celebration is very attractive to young people. So the enemy is trying to pervert it by giving people, a false identity of themselves. There's depression in our world. There's sorrow in our world. Anywhere you turn, people are finding it difficult to find some happiness, some joy, some celebration, some excitement. Whereas this system of entertainment is actually the system of celebration, which of course we talked about on Sunday, and we said it's a system of music, of sports, of arts, of movies, of fashion. If you look at all of these things, they are all instruments of joy and happiness. Sports is an instrument of joy and happiness. Music is an instrument of joy and happiness. Fashion, movies, the arts, all kinds of entertainment. They're all instruments of joy and happiness. So in a world filled with depression and sorrows, this system is highly needed. If you look at Isaiah chapter 60, verse number 1, from the Amplified version of the Bible, Isaiah 60, the Old King James says, "Arise, shine, for the light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you." And that's beautiful. But the Amplified, give it to me from the Amplified version. He says, "Arise from the depression and prostration in which circumstances have kept you. Rise to a new level." So the key word there is depression. And people are laying prostrate on the floor. They've been beaten and battered and shattered. They've been broken and battered and beaten by the devil. He says there's depression, severe depression, and prostration. People People are no longer holding their heads up high. They are now bowing their heads in prostration. There's depression, there's sorrow. So what God is saying that the cure for depression is the manifestation of glory. And we said that Jesus died to receive glory. And we said glory is celebration, it's entertainment, it's sports, it's music. That's what it means. So music, sports, arts, and movies, and fashion, all of these are instruments of joy and happiness. So the spirit of depression, or rather, the spirit of perversion creates depression in people by attacking their self-worth. That's how it works. The spirit of depression, of perversion, is creating depression in people. You see, what does this spirit do? It creates depression in people. How? By attacking their self-worth. By devaluing or dehumanizing them. And you know, your self-worth is a result of your self-esteem. Your self-worth is a result of your self-esteem. And your self-esteem is a reflection of your self-image. See that? Your self-worth is a result of your self-esteem. What's your self-esteem? Your self-esteem is simply the way you feel about yourself. That's your self-esteem. It's how you feel about yourself. And how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, is a reflection of your self-image. What's your self-image? How you see yourself. That's it. So your self-worth is a result of your self-esteem, which is a reflection of your self-image. Therefore, if you have a negative self-image, your self-esteem will be low. And once your self-esteem is low, your self-worth is neutralized. That's why I always say, nothing paralyzes a person like a negative self-image, like a negative self-esteem. In Proverbs chapter 15, verse number 13, Proverbs 15:13, it says, a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. See that? But by sorrow of the heart, what happens? The spirit is broken. So you see the strategy of the enemy here. When the enemy wants to break your spirit, what's that? Once he wants to destroy your self-worth, he gives you a negative self-image. Once you feel terrible about yourself, which is a reflection, once you see yourself as worthless, and you begin to feel terrible about yourself, you are paralyzed. You can't achieve anything. The resultant effect is depression, is sorrow. So what I'm saying is that sorrow is a function. Depression and sorrow, they are the results of the spirit of perversion. It's perverting the identity of a human being. He gives you a negative picture. A negative picture, that's your self-image, of yourself. How you see yourself. He distorts the picture.